The big question mark, these BJP leaders are out in the open, Sangeet Som, out in the open in the assembly on a day in which there is a warrant out against him. And it appears to be work as usual, as all political parties, whether it's the Samajwadi party, the BJP or the BSP, trade charges and allegations and counter-allegations on who was actually responsible. But what you see over here is a brazen display of support for Sangeet Som by none other than Bharti, the senior BJP leader, who along with other BJP leaders is seen leaving the assembly in Lucknow earlier on in the day. As I mentioned, on a day in which there is a warrant out for the arrest of Sangeet Som and several other leaders, not just from the BJP but from the BSP as well, a former Congress MP and his son also among those leaders against who have been accused of making statements which resulted or triggered some of the violence which resulted in the death of nearly 40 people in Muzaffarnagar. The BJP says that the Samajwadi party is trying to frame them, but speaking in the State Assembly earlier on in the day, Akhilesh Yadav, the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, made it absolutely clear that this was part of a political conspiracy which was hatched by the BJP to politicize a communal situation in the area. There have also been allegations from the Congress that this was the Samajwadi party which was acting hand in glove with the BJP in Western Uttar Pradesh, as a result of which we've actually seen no arrests so far. And that is one of the big questions. How is it that we have this open display of ministers and leaders and MLAs out in the open, as if it's all normal at a time in which there are warrants actually out for their arrest? And as you can see from these images, there are policemen there on the screen. Why are these policemen not acting according to the law? Why are those policemen, and we saw a few of them on the screen over there, not going out and arresting Sangeet Som, one of those who have been who've been accused of spearheading or making statements which resulted in a very passionate crowd in Muzaffarnagar getting out of control? There are policemen we briefly saw in this footage who have done absolutely nothing about this. And again, as I mentioned, a brazen display of support for Sangeet Som, a senior leader like Bharti, who was in fact stopped from going to Muzaffarnagar recently, coming out, and it appears to be all is normal. Calls for normalcy, calls of how the BJP was being targeted by others, evident over there in Lucknow. These pictures really do tell a story. The police, for their part, have said that that they will need approximately 2 days to get some arrests happening. They claim that they are going to follow the law of the land, that they have collected enough evidence and that is just a matter of time. But why will it take 2 days for the police to actually clamp down and arrest some of those leaders who've been accused of making those inflammatory speeches, when the whole world knows where these people are? This is footage which is available across television networks. There are policemen, as you can see over there on the right of your screen, not doing anything. There is a warrant out against Sangeet Som, but he continues to operate in Lucknow with no arrest, despite what a court has said, and has issued a warrant for his arrest along with several others. And not only is Sangeet Som out in the open, he's also been speaking to the media. We're just trying to bring you some reactions. He spoke to my colleague Anand Zanane a little while earlier on and said that he was entirely innocent, that he was in his constituency on the day in which he was accused of making these inflammatory speeches. He said he's made absolutely nothing, he's not said anything wrong. We'll try and play out that interview in a little while from now, but in case you're just tuning in, the senior BJP leader over there on your screens is Bharti. She is accompanying Sangeet Som, one of those leaders who's been accused of making inflammatory speeches in Muzaffarnagar. There are policemen who also periodically appear in this footage. The big question, why is the police not going ahead and arresting Sangeet Som on a day in which there is a warrant for the arrest of Sangeet Som? It's not just about the BJP, there are BSP leaders as well, and Congress, former Congress leaders as well, who have been named and against whom there are warrants, but the police not acting. The big question, why? This was Sangeet Som speaking to my colleague Anand Zanane some time back.
The BJP is defiant. They say that their MLAs will face arrest. Over here you can see Uma Bharti, Hukum Singh, Sangeet Som, all these people and several other BJP MLAs out here outside the Lucknow Assembly, the Uttar Pradesh Assembly, and just outside the gates you can see scores of BJP supporters. They say that they are here in support of their MLAs, against whom warrants have been issued by the Akhilesh Yadav government. Uma Bharti is saying and crying foul that this is betrayal, because on the floor of the House, Akhilesh Yadav had assured her that they will not arrest these people. They will try and work towards measures and explore methods of ensuring that peace is restored, and this entire Muzaffarnagar incident and the dispute arising out of it is amicably sorted out. But clearly she says that this is a betrayal by Akhilesh Yadav government. She says that the consequences could be more. There could be more tension across the state if these leaders are arrested. That's the kind of warning that Uma Bharti is giving and other BJP leaders are giving to Akhilesh Yadav. She's also gone ahead and said that perhaps earlier she was not, in a sense, asking for President's rule, but now perhaps it's time to make that demand because she thinks it's a legitimate one. Mr. Sangeet Som is here. बाहर आप लोगों को गिरफ्तार करने के लिए पुलिस खड़ी हुई है, आपके समर्थक भी हैं. क्या आप लोगों को लगता है कि इस गिरफ्तारी से माहौल और बिगड़ेगा, क्योंकि आप लोग अगर पीसफुली इसको यहाँ पे अरेस्ट करते हैं, अपने आप को सरेंडर करते हैं पुलिस के सामने, तो शायद माहौल ना बिगड़े?
सरकार जिस तरीके की कार्रवाई कर रही है तो वो लोगों को मैसेज यही देना चाह रही है कि आप आफत करिए, आप दंगे करिए. सरकार एक तरफा कार्रवाई करके इस काम को बढ़ावा दे रही है और करा रही है. आप
लोग असेंबली में थे, आपको क्या अश्योरेंस दिया गया था अखिलेश यादव और आजम खान द्वारा?
ये कहा गया था कि किसी भी निर्दोष की गिरफ्तारी नहीं होगी, पहले जांच होगी तब गिरफ्तारी होगी. लेकिन अगर जितने दोषी हम हैं उतने आजम खान भी हैं, उतने ही सपा सरकार के और नेता भी हैं. किसी की गिरफ्तारी नहीं. अगर भाजपा को ही टारगेट बना के गिरफ्तारी करी जा रही है तो हम उसके लिए तैयार हैं. हम धर्म और समाज के लिए लड़ाई के लिए तैयार हैं.
पुलिस कहती है कि एविडेंस है आप लोगों के खिलाफ, आपके इन्वॉल्वमेंट को लेके, इसीलिए वो वारंट्स इश्यू हुए हैं, कोर्ट से वारंट इशू हुए. कोर्ट ऐसे इस तरीके से वारंट इशू नहीं कर रहा होगा, एविडेंस दिखाया होगा पुलिस ने.
एक दिन में कोई जांच होगा, कोई एक दिन में कौन से 24 घंटे में उन्होंने जांच कर ली? और
7-8 दिन हो गए जांच चल रही है.
बिल्कुल गलत और वो झूठा बयान दे रहे हैं.
Sangeet Som right here saying that perhaps this is a one-sided attempt by the Akhilesh Yadav government, which he says is going to boomerang on the government because they see a larger political fallout if these arrests happen today. But clearly, inside the Lucknow Assembly, the Uttar Pradesh Assembly, and just outside, scenes of BJP supporters gathering in support of their leaders who could possibly face arrest. There are police personnel outside trying to control the crowds, and that is something that the BJP leaders are forewarning the people of the state about, and also the government, that they feel that this is entirely a one-sided exercise and enough evidence has not been gathered so far to actually implicate these MLAs against whom warrants have been issued, and the police is waiting to arrest them. With camera person Ramesh Verma in Lucknow, this is Anand Zanane for NDTV.
All right, well, let's just listen into what Uma Bharti has been saying.
अंदर एक घिनौनी राजनीति के द्वारा वो पूरे उत्तर प्रदेश को एक संदेश देना चाहते हैं अपना वोट बैंक का, और इसलिए मैं फिर एक बार ये कहूंगी कि यदि आज गिरफ्तारी हुई, हमारे विधायक गिरफ्तारी देने में संकोच नहीं करेंगे, हमारे नेता हमारे साथ हैं, लेकिन इससे अगर कोई दुष्परिणाम आएंगे तो इसके लिए पूरी तरह से अखिलेश यादव की सरकार जिम्मेवार होगी. आज उन्होंने सदन में स्वयं कहा और पूरे सदन ने एक मत दिया. मैंने स्वयं ये बात कही कि हम आपका पूरा सहयोग करने के लिए तैयार हैं, लेकिन जिन पे केस बन रहे हैं, जिन बेकसूर लोगों पर रासुका जैसी लगाई जा रही है, पहले आप उनकी जांच तो करिए. मान लीजिए कोई आरोप है तो पहले उस आरोप की जांच तो करिए, उसकी सत्यता तो प्रमाणित करिए पहले, क्योंकि फिर आरोप तो आजम खान पर भी और आरोप फिर संगीत सोम के ऊपर भी है. मुझे जानकारी हुई है कि गेट पर गिरफ्तारी की तैयारी है. मैं आज चेतावनी देती हूँ समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार को कि संख्या बल तुम्हारे पास है तो नैतिक बल हमारे पास है, और अगर इस प्रकार से लड़ाई करनी है तो इसके परिणाम अच्छे नहीं होंगे, समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार के लिए अच्छे नहीं होंगे, और इसके जो दुष्परिणाम होंगे उसके लिए पूरी तरह से आज अखिलेश यादव जिम्मेवार होंगे. इसलिए हम हुकुम सिंह जी के नेतृत्व में अपने विधायक दल को लेकर निकल रहे हैं और हम देखते हैं कि हमारे विधायकों को कौन गिरफ्तार करता है. चलिए.
An incredible statement there by Uma Bharti. In case you're just joining us, the BJP over there, led by Uma Bharti, is physically preventing the arrest of Sangeet Som, one of the leaders who's been accused of making inflammatory speeches in Muzaffarnagar.